for a while now, I've had a bit of a dry squeaking sound coming from the front suspension or steering on my W124. I noticed it anytime I moved the steering wheel slowly after the car had been sitting for a while. Now, I went through and basically checked every single moving part of the steering setup. I did initially suspect maybe it was the new lower control arm ball joints with insufficient grease from the factory, but I don't think that's what the problem is here, because I did actually succeed in getting it to squeak once when the car was in the air by moving the wheels by hand, and it wasn't actually coming from either side, it was more coming from the middle of the car. So that made me suspect maybe it was the idler arm squeaking. But no, there's absolutely no noise coming from that area. I'm not 100% sure that I've assembled that correctly because I haven't looked at the manual lately, and I seem to recall there's some discrepancy about how the bolt and washers go in. I think the manual says one thing, and then an untouched car from the factory can have another thing. But in any case, that's not where the noise is coming from. I assure you there's no noise, even though I'm speaking at the moment. So I was just looking at the top and bottom sections of this idler arm. Absolutely nothing whatsoever coming from this area, so I can rule that out. I then turned my attention onto the other side of the car, looking for things in this area, and got a bit of a surprise.
What the fuck?
I thought maybe it's my steering box squeaking, but that wasn't the case. It was this old Chestnut, which I've experienced before on my 6.9. The same issue. It is just the weatherproof seal that goes onto the firewall and has the steering shaft pass through it. There is a sleeve that rubs in the middle of it, and clearly I forgot to lubricate that when I had the steering box out. Now for some bonus content, I just went ahead and wanted to check the state of the coolant in my two cars that are currently sitting outside. My blue-black 124. That coolant has been in there for a number of years. I changed that radiator, I think, in 2016. And I think the coolant has been in there for almost as long. And you just dunk these test strips in there for 1 second, and then you get a valid reading after about 15 seconds. And this is genuine MB coolant in here, so I have no reason to be worried about it at this point in time, especially since I've done a very small amount of driving in this car since I've had it. And you can see that the concentration is in fact probably 60% or slightly higher, so I obviously messed up the water to coolant ratio, or some water has evaporated over the years, and the alkalinity absolutely perfect, it's as new. My 210, on the other hand, has been maintained by someone that doesn't know what he's doing, clearly. I still haven't done this yet. It's on my to-do list, and that coolant is looking very, very weak. Let's have a look at what that looks like. And no surprises, it's way out of specification. It's down at like between 25 and 33% concentration. I don't actually know what coolant is in there. It's kind of the wrong color. If it was MB genuine, then again it is very diluted. Fortunately, the alkalinity is just within spec. I wouldn't want to leave it there much longer. but it's getting changed anyway.